welcome back to Radio Taiwan International. You're listening to Geek Out. What's your cup of tea, tickles your fancy, or floats your boat? Join us as we share passions from people in Taiwan and around the world. I'm your host, Michelle Chang, and today we have a very special episode for you. Sharon Lin and Issy Wells are in the studio.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, you.
And this is Izzy's last week.
It's bittersweet.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been ages since we've all recorded something together.
Right?
It feels like really nice.
I wanted to kind of recap.
But sad.
Yeah, I wanted to recap our time together because we were hired together for the purpose of launching the FM channel. The RTI had that project in the works.
No longer.
So, we kind of got, incorporated into the news team. It's been a wild ride. And
and so when we first came on board, that was 2022 December?
Yeah.
You were December. I was November.
Okay.
I was
so
December.
it was kind of like late 2022 we all started.
Yeah, and we've already had to say goodbye to quite a few colleagues in that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Which has been really sad
It
because I feel like
has.
we are like a little team, and
Yeah.
you see everyone in the office, and everyone's also kind of quite friendly with each other. So it is.
Yeah, we are friends, like more than colleagues. It's not just, at least for me, it's not just like, those like work friends, like we are friends.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Honestly, I have to say, this is very rare in workplaces, right?
So rare, especially
So
in Taiwan.
rare.
Oh my goodness.
Most people have had experiences with pretty crazy workplace drama.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I guess we have like a small team, which is nice.
we do.
I think that helps.
it could be really great,
Either way.
or it could be really awful.
yeah, true.
It depends on the mix of people, right?
Yeah.
So yes, this particular team, we're all, we all like each other.
Yeah, it's wow. Yeah, I can't describe. It's like how lucky I feel to really work with you both. And since it's Izzy's last week, it just you're just how amazing you are.
Oh, stop! I'm gonna start tearing
if
up.
If I cry, it's only a beautiful thing. I mean, just like
Yeah, well, likewise for the both of you, and I'm gonna carry on tuning in.
Yay!
please do.
Yeah, and
we'll-
excited to see what you guys carry
We'll
on
tune
doing.
into you. Where are you going?
Where am I
Yeah, where are
going?
you
Can I
going?
disclose?
Of course.
Taiwan Plus.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
But
know
that
some
was a
friends there.
surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big surprise.
Yeah, so
What you doing over there?
What am I doing? Good question. So I'll be working on a show called Connected.
Okay.
Connected with Divya Gopalan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a panel show.
Yep.
And basically every episode we're discussing like a topic. And you have two panel guests discussing this topic too. One's from Taiwan and one's from somewhere else in the world.
Nice.
So it's meant to be kind of how issues in Taiwan are also going on elsewhere and kind of, I guess, connecting Taiwan to the world and stuff. So I'm going to be an extra pair of hands with helping behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, you're going to be working with Tomash?
Yeah, Tamash.
Yes.
So-
Miss Tomash, yeah.
Longtime listeners of RTI, you guys might remember Tomash Copper.
Also, he was also on Geek Out not
He
long
was.
ago.
He
and
was not long ago.
That's actually one of my favorite recent episodes on Geek Out. That was so fun.
Tomash and Leslie as a combined duo is pretty ridiculous. I love it.
I love it. And they said, just unleash us. Good.
I'm glad you get to work with him.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's great. He's great. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to definitely take some getting used to because
Of course.
obviously here the work time is so flexible. You can kind of come in when you want as long as you get your programs done.
Right.
Whereas over there it's going to be 10 till 7.
Right.
Every
Because
Monday
you
to
are
Friday.
specifically working with a team of people. So everybody's
Yes.
got to be there at the same time so you guys can work together.
Exactly. And I think there are positives and negatives. Like it'll be good to have some more structure and I guess be working alongside people every day. That'll be really nice. But I am probably going to miss the flexibility and the freedom.
Oh,
I know,
your
yeah.
dog's going to miss you.
I know. I know. I'm trying to sort out some daycare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Workplaces, I say, increase productivity if they allow people to bring in their dogs.
I agree. We still haven't had like a bring your pet to work day.
I know, right?
It's
Come on,
Yeah.
management. If you're listening to this, management, please let us bring our dogs to work. We promise. If there's any kind of mess or something, we'll clean it up. We're very responsible pet
worries.
owners. So,
Yeah. There's an office right by where I live actually, and
Yeah.
they have a. It must be you can take your dogs to work because every time I walk past with
There's
Boo
dogs.
and they're always peering out the window and Boo always gets very excited to
There's-
see if they're there or not and it's like, oh no, not today.
So there's several of them.
Yeah, there's always one little sausage dog.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, and then so he's always there. I think he is the boss of that company.
That makes sense. If the boss is
their
a dog person,
Yeah.
that means, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And then the others kind of change, I think, depending on, I mean,
Their shifts.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. You're so right. Like, if the boss is a dog person or has a dog,
Usually the company changes policies.
yeah, that's like my stepdad's work.
Yeah.
He made it. You can bring your dog to work.
Nice.
'Cause,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I figure listeners would be very interested in what it was like to come work at a radio station. I had no experience myself
Neither
working
had
in this
that.
kind of,
neither.
you know.
I feel like everyone was always quite like amazed but also surprised that I was working in radio.
Really?
Or just, I think, because in the UK these kinds of jobs in media like are super cutthroat, and you have to probably be like grinding at it for like a long time until you get to be like
True.
hired by a station or whatever. So it was really great that with the limited experience that I did have, I guess I didn't have experience, but I had interests, and I think that helped.
And of course it helps. I think all three of us interviewed well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been great. I've learned a lot, and I've felt really lucky to have this job.
Right.
And it has, like, I wouldn't have changed anything. It's been really great to work with all of you guys and gain like a lot of experience, speak to some really cool people, you know, and then again the flexibility. I feel like it's really been a
So
great
rare, yeah.
yeah.
So in the very beginning, do you have any challenges that you had to overcome?
Yes, definitely. I remember me and Sharon, one of our first interviews together.
Wait, what? Okay.
Who was our first one actually?
I think officially it was
Emily?
Howard.
Oh,
Officially it was
Howard.
Howard.
Oh, right. I
Yeah.
remember Howard came in.
And also, can I talk? Also, Howard used to work at RTI before he started his own business, and he's super, super sweet. And I remember he was our first ever like real, like human, real guest, real guest.
And for those those listening who don't know who Howard is, he's like an amazing like
interpreter, host, teacher as well. And
Where can we find that episode in case people want to go back in time?
That is the first episode I've come along on my show.
Right.
I haven't dared listen to it back.
No, you sound great.
But right, it's like our first shows. We all feel
It
really
was so fun.
self-conscious. Yeah.
But like I think you're mentioning the episode with Emily. I think it was our first like interview, and I remember we were so nervous. At least I was super nervous.
Yeah, I was really nervous.
And I was really glad that Izzy was there, because whenever I feel like, is this a good question, I go look at her and she would give me this look like reaffirming, like, yeah, this is fine.
Oh, it's so much easier if you have like two hosts in a studio and a guest, because absolutely
At the very beginning,
it
and
was
she's
really
helpful.
great. So Emily's great as well. Like, she does like podcasts for a living. So she's like pro and like, you know, an amazing talk. And I remember I was being like, oh, she's so cool and like so confident and,
But like we've grown so much from our first ever episodes, and same with you, Michelle. So like we've all grown so much.
likewise.
Yeah, and like now, I mean, like your guests have been fire, and special shout out to the episode with Julia. Super informative on hot stuff. So highly recommend listeners to go listen. Yeah.
they were a great guest to finish on for hot stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Izzy's shows will still continue to be up on the website in case you guys want to listen.
Yeah.
But right, I think for me personally, the biggest challenge, because I'm not a tech savvy person, I underestimated how much tech I would have to deal with on a daily basis.
Wait, really? Do you feel like you're less tech savvy? I'm like on the ground.
Okay, look,
In the basement.
my previous experience, I have recorded a lot because I used to work for Hess, and they record their own English teaching material, right? But they have a technician pushing all the buttons and moving all the dials and stuff while you're reading off a script, or you're doing what you're doing in a sound room, right? So I'm just there for my voice.
Oh, cool.
And then
you don't have to worry about all the
I don't have to
technical
worry about
stuff.
the tech stuff. And then same with Twitch and stuff. When I would live stream D&D, I'm not the one in control of the computer.
Okay.
So yes, that part I had underestimated, but it's actually interesting to see how fast I could learn things.
Yeah,
I'm
you
proud
do
of
pick it
myself.
up very quickly. Because
Yeah.
I remember when we had the first couple of sessions on like teaching us how to do things, and I remember being so overwhelmed. I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get this down? There is so much to remember. I don't even know where to start. And then you do really quickly pick it up, and then it just becomes like automatic. You don't even think about think about it.
So how about you, Sharon? Any particular challenges?
Definitely, it was a learning curve with the tech stuff, but once you get a hang of it, and also I'm a very anxious person, so I remember like the first kind of sessions teaching us how to use the panels. I was taking notes.
You
I
took
still
so
have
many
those
notes. We still have your notes. Yeah.
Oh gosh, so that's really helpful. But like I think just with really everything in life is just you learn it, and you learn the most by doing it yourself.
Oh yes, kinetic learning.
So yes.
It's good now.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy that we had like at the time Itamar, Tomasz, Shirley. They were all there to like hold our hands and walk us through the process. It was
That's really helpful.
I mean, there might have not been a training program here, but they were great trainers.
Yeah. It was a really great team when we came on board. We learned a lot from them all, and they had a lot to teach us. So
yeah, and everybody's so empathetic. Really, just great people, honestly.
Yep. And then we had a exodus of people.
Yeah.
A mass exodus of people leaving.
That was definitely a challenging period.
Oh, totally. Tomasz and Itamar, I think they both went over to Taiwan Plus.
No,
Itamar didn't.
Itamar did not.
Move on to a different job.
Shirley retired. Natalie moved to California.
Yeah, and I feel like that was...
Emma,
moved to New York, right?
Yeah, it just so happened. Brendan, law school.
Yeah. So basically,
QQ.
I miss Brendan.
I know, I miss Brendan so much.
We miss you, Brendan.
Brendan's great, yeah.
But right, there was a mass exodus of people.
It was just like really bad timing, right? Because both Natalie and Shirley had been in this job for like
18
decades.
years, 20 years.
Around 20 years.
Yeah. So, and then everyone just suddenly
was gone.
in the same month or like a month apart or something. It was kind of crazy.
We were officially the oldest employees that we had on staff in the English team.
We're really dishing the tea.
I mean, it's not anybody's fault. I mean, timing lined up the way it did. Well, but it was it was very interesting to find ourselves that, the oldies.
Yeah. I feel
when we were not very old.
Yeah, I mean, like any job, it's like every institution or organization, they have their limitations and of course their strengths. Like same with RTI. So
it is an older company, and with any older company, it has a certain amount of inertia. I can totally understand how people would want to work with, a company like Taiwan Plus. If you've ever, picture in your heads the media room in every Superman movie where it's Clark like Kent. Right, where Clark Kent was working as a reporter. It's like really high energy, and the crew is huge.
Yeah, they have a full team.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
It's a big office.
Yeah,
it's very pretty office.
Yeah, very modern. I think they only
open plan
kicked off 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2
something
or 3.
like that. So they're a very new company, and when it comes to new companies, they are still adjusting their methodology.
But there are as well, because I think to start with, some people were moving over, and I thought, oh wow, it sounds amazing, but you do realize, and with conversations with people who've moved there as well, that that organization also has its limitations.
Oh, totally.
So there's no workplace is ever perfect, right?
No.
I feel like just for me, I wanted to kind of learn some more stuff, keep challenging myself.
Oh, totally.
So it seemed like the right move for me at this moment.
I'm excited for you because, we know lots of people at Taiwan.
Yeah, we know friends there.
And I've heard a lot of great things. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what you'll do, yeah.
Yeah, so...
What was it like when there was a mass exodus of people? We actually held down this fort.
Oh, yeah.
Not very many of us. We held down this fort for a while, for months.
Yeah.
Until they got the noobs in.
Yeah, how did we manage that?
I don't know.
Yeah. And we're still waiting for our raise.
I feel like...
a bigger one. Bosses are listening.
Yes,
I feel like, Michelle, you really picked up the slack there with all the doing the extra news and stuff.
It's only because I didn't mind the news shifts very much. I guess I write fairly quickly.
Yeah,
perhaps not as carefully.
No, the accuracy is good. And also, I feel like your experience as a teacher really shines through, because I feel like when you're teaching new people, you just really know how to communicate.
Well, you can't teach for 12 years and not have it rub off.
Well, some people. I know some people. No, but yeah, you're a great instructor.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the team's really good now, and I feel like the new people that came on have got adjusted.
Oh, totally. They're all settled in. I think they're pretty much ready to start teaching the new batch that are
Yeah.
The next one's
When
in.
are the new recruits coming in?
I mean, they're interviewing as I think tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Like the
tribunal.
Final,
The tribunal interview is
Oh,
tomorrow.
we should talk about
Is it
that.
like the Harry Potter?
That was the biggest shock of my entire life.
Wait, what?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay, ready? So when you apply for a
interview.
job, if you live in Taiwan and you might want to work at RTI, you're going to find that occasionally there's an ad up saying that we want new people, right? So you apply. The first step is actually an exam. I was not
Well,
so
no,
much
first of all,
expecting.
application form,
Exactly.
right? And
you
have
fill
to,
out
like,
the
write a
application
bit of
form. You receive an
stuff
email
about yourself.
telling you to show up at this time and date for the written exam / oral exam. Now, if you pass through to the next level, you show up again.
For like a
An
real
interview.
interview.
I was expecting like maybe 2 or 3 people in an
No, I
office.
thought it would be one-on-one.
Oh. I mean, usually
Yeah.
there's somebody
I
from
remember
HR.
that day. I remember that day because I sat at the lobby. Michelle, you came downstairs like with your I think you were
I
having
was talking to Leslie.
purple hair or something.
Oh, yeah.
Silver. Anyway, you look really you look really cool.
Oh, thank
You were
you.
talking to Leslie and I was like pretending to read a book. And I overheard your conversation. I was like, whoa, these people, they already know people and they sound so confident. And I remember I was sitting across from this hot girl. I was like, who is this blonde hot girl? That's Issy.
That was
Wells.
Issy.
And me pretending to read my book. And I was like, wow, she's so attractive.
Oh, that's
I'm flattered.
well. The 3 of us made it through.
That was my birthday, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
September or something.
7th.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
it was my birthday. And I thought it would be a one-on-one situation.
Yeah, right? Your
you walking, he's like,
administrator.
wow.
And I thought it would be in English, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, so okay. So
Was it in
instead,
Chinese?
Yeah.
half, kind of half.
Oh, half. Okay.
So you walk into this room expecting an intimate interview,
No.
and no, you sit down in
Like a
front
seminar
of
room.
a
How
row.
many? Probably like
like a
7,
dozen.
8
Eight
people.
I think it was a
8
dozen,
people.
including all the secretaries
yeah.
and stuff. And everyone has little mics, and they all start asking you questions.
It's
Yeah.
like, wow, am I in a press conference of
I know, right?
my
No.
life?
I was shocked.
It was scary.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Wait, really?
intimidating.
You look very, very calm. Because I remember I was
That was
pretty-
before I knew what I was getting myself into.
They were all very nice. It's not like
Yeah, yeah,
anyone
yeah.
was really
No,
mean.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, it was not what I was expecting. That's why I was like a bit shocked.
the
but,
shocking
yeah.
factor, the shock factor.
But I think it was a cool experience.
Yeah,
Like even
you
if I
slayed.
hadn't,
Yeah.
even if I hadn't got the job, like I remember calling my mum afterwards actually, and she was like, "Oh, how did it go?" And I was like, "Oh, well, it seemed like a really cool place." And I remember like when you walk into the station, it's like it's this big building and it has this we'll call it a lobby for the Americans,
right?
with like these nice sofas and like big. Is there a chandelier? I feel like,
No, we don't.
or like some kind of
Just
big
a
light.
big light. Just
There's
a big light.
There's
Okay,
a big
all right.
not
I'm making it
chandelier.
sound too grand.
And like
But-
the double staircase. Yeah. I know
yeah,
what
so
you
and I
mean.
was like, whoa, like this place is really cool. And then the interview happened and I was like, whoa. I was like, I don't think I got the job.
Ugh,
Wait,
But-
no.
Well, no, I think I just panicked. I think I panicked because I
There's a lot
hadn't.
of panic. Yeah.
I think it's like one of those things where I'm always second guess myself as well. Like I think you don't know. We don't know how it went. I was like, oh, I'd love to work here, but I'm not sure I'm gonna get it. So we'll just have to see. And then I remember when they called me,
Hey.
I was in the immigration agency. doing some kind of visa thing. I don't know, just nightmare stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And they called me and they were like, oh, I don't know. I was like, oh, hi, way. And then they were like, oh, like you got the job, and I was like, oh, cinema.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
That was Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
No, I don't think
I think
it
it's
was
Mr.
Andy.
Lin. I think it's Mr. Lin.
Yeah,
It's a different guy.
I don't think it was
Yeah.
Andy.
I had a different experience though.
Oh,
because
I got a call from Andy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool because I was after the writing test because I feel like I grew up here, so I'm not unfamiliar with those essay writing tests.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, I'm used to this. And also, I used to work as a teaching assistant at university. So I know the drill. And so after the writing test, I knew that I probably did a really good job because like when you're writing, you know that you know
Yay.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then after the interview, I was like, I think I got this, but nothing is set yet.
Oh,
so
I love the confidence.
I actually no, because like I think it's because like the writing test is really something that the form I was familiar with, but I remember I received a call. It's so funny. Okay, at the conference room at my previous job.
They called you to your old one.
Yeah, no, because on my cell phone.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. So I couldn't really like show like I'm excited because like there are people downstairs. So I was like, oh, amazing. And I think the guy who called, he was like, you sound like you don't want the job. I'm like, no, I want the job. But like there's a meeting downstairs. So I was like, yo, thank you so much. Yeah, I will be there.
So we all showed up at work
Yeah.
at RTI.
Yeah, I do remember the writing test. Where it was about, wasn't it about something like monkeypox or something?
It was about monkeypox.
Yeah.
I remember that because my
the Chinese bit of it.
is probably the weakest in the team, and I thankfully recognized the characters for monkey and for disease, and I'm like, okay, I know what this is about. I feel a little better. It's like, here we go.
Yeah.
Aw, it's been a really wild ride, and I've had so much fun.
Yeah, and I'll still see you guys. We'll still hang
Yeah,
out.
please
It's not
do.
the end.
No.
Yeah, Izzy will still be in Taiwan, so
Yeah.
you know we'll get together.
We'll have some more games nights.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
More poker
And dogs, yeah.
and dogs. Absolutely.
I don't know if I feel like we might have to cut the bit out about poker, you know?
Really? But like,
People can host.
because in Lunar New Year, like kids play poker.
Wow. Thanks for geeking out with me, Sharon and Izzy.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks
It's
for
been
having
sad,
So sad.
Lovely final episode.
Yeah,
recording
everyone
with both
follow-
of you.
Connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone follow Connected over at Taiwan Plus.
Yeah. I'm
Just
already
Izzy again.
following, yeah.
Absolutely. And thanks, listeners, for tuning into Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang, and we'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Geek Out.
Bye.